Back, people, and we're back. Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 2. Now, as where we left off last time, I'll get on to that. So, as I was saying, people, your government only has the 26th highest level of authority, the highest level of government, personally, in this whole world. Is 26 on that list. And the people who run this world, even more than them, the real people who run this world, aren't humans. And I know this because I'm not human. I'm Anunnakian. Now, the people who run this world, I know as myself being one of them because I'm third highest in that regard. And the reason I say that is because there are 30 levels of authority. 30-layered system that Lord of Groneville put up. Invented, created, for this whole world to run by. And out of those 30 layers, those 30 levels, these are the highest in order. First it comes to Groneville, Lord of Groneville, respectively. Then after that happens to be Prince of Peace Ethertel. After that, my title, Warrior of Invincibility, Ragnarok. And after that comes the Grand Angel. He's known by this name, Grand Angel Akhruhestes. And after him, after Akhruhestes, comes Archangel, High Archangel Almighty, Vathril. Vathril, whatever, however they pronounce it. And after that comes the Archangels. After that comes Ethertones. And after him comes a Demon Lord, also called the Rashion Fragmentos, or Rashion Fragmentos. Those are their title, by the way. And they are the 8 strongest demons in all of hell. And I'll tell you that name in a little bit, but anyway. Now, getting back to what I was saying, after them is the 12 Kizuki. After them is, actually before the 12 Kizuki, hold on for a second, is Hell's Royal Family. The Royal Family people. After them is the 7 Sins of Purgatory. After them is the 10 Commandments of Condemned Damnation. And after them comes angels. After them comes demons. After them comes Dragonborn dragons. After them comes regular dragons. After them comes vampires. And after that is dark elves. And all elven creatures, pretty much, in some level. All the elves. Dark elves are one of the higher ones, but they're not necessarily the highest. The highest are actually the high elves, but, you know. Now, after all of them comes the fairy races. After all of them happens to come, by the way, magic folk. Regular magic folk, like mages, like wizards, like all that. Yes, that is real, by the way. And after all of them happens to come, well, let's think. After all of them, the last one I'll tell you about comes the creatures that stalk in the night. And those are called shadow creatures. And after them comes your humans, your mankind's governmental. After that comes the animal kingdom. And after that comes humans that can basically more or less not do a set to protect themselves. And in that order is the way this system, to my knowledge, has always been. That is the system, people. That is the layers and level of authority. It's been that way since the beginning, and it'll probably stay that way long after most of you are dead someday. Well, I'm still probably going to be here. Now, also, I was going to tell you that Hell's true name, by the way. It's not really Hell. I know that's what a lot of you call it. I know that's what a lot of you think the name is. But this is the true name of that land. It's Chaldean, actually, name. I will give you that language. By the way, I speak Chaldean, and that is an ancient and lost knowledge-based language that us Anunnakians know very well, so did our native language. Now, Chaldesh, I will tell you how to speak this name. Hell's real name is right, going on. Herom Testros. Herom Testros. Herom Testros. That is Hell's real name. And everybody in Hell knows this. So when you're calling it Hell, that's a relative term. By the way, because Hell doesn't mean the land down under necessarily, it doesn't mean that. And for those of you who don't already know this, Hell has 9 parts to it, by the way. It's not just a ever-ending pit of hellish fire, no. There are 9 sections, 9 gates of Hell. That really does exist, by the way. And there are 5 layers of heaven, the 5-layered heaven-space system. That's why it's called the heavens, by the way. It's not heaven, it's the heavens. Now, after all that, there are realms that you never knew even were a thing, that I bet none of you even knew existed. And I'm going to tell you that now. Where dragons happen to live, by the way, and I don't know if I mentioned this in a later video, I may have, I had to redo this part, so I'm not sure. If I did, forgive me. But dragons do really exist, and they do really live to this day. And where you can find any kind of dragon's nesting spot is in Finland, Scotland, or what is also commonly referred to as Iceland, people. That's where you can find dragons. Hydras happen to live in the Indian Damn Ocean. Yeah, those are a thing, actually. The Loch Ness Monster, Nessie, is a sea dragon. Actually. Yeah. Megalodons are real too, by the way, people. I bet you didn't know that either. And they still live to this day. They can go all over the ocean in search of food. Yep. And not only that, dinosaurs still live. Dinosaurs are still a thing. They never went extinct like you all think they did. They don't not live. They still live. They don't live in this realm, mind you. They can come from the veil they live under. But they don't live in this realm. Dinosaurs were banished by the Lord of Grotoville over during the time when they were thought to be extinct. And that year was actually 15,000. The year 15,000. Not 15,000 BCE, not 15,000 BC, not even 15,000 anything else. It was just the year 15,000. Plain as that. And believe it or not, I know this because Mom taught me that. Grotoville taught me that. And not only that, people, you should also know, on a side note, let's see, good, we're making good time. Again, I had to check wrong. As I was saying, after that, you should all know this. Goblins are real, and so are ogres, orcs, cyclops, triclops. They all really live, and they all really exist. And as those fairy races I mentioned, there are imps, there are spriggans, sylphs, also called sylphs, aerials, Hasids is what they're actually considered. Not cat seeds like you think it's pronounced on that stupid show that are mentioned. Like SAO, no. It's Hasids, by the way. And after them comes the Vermentos, which happen to be the fire ones that are also earth-based. And after them comes the Salamanders. Why do you think Natsu from Fairy Tail was called a salamander and being part of Fairy Tail? Because fairies that are fire-based are called salamanders. That's their nickname. But their true name is Vermentos. Now, after Vermentos, and the other bit right there, see? After all of them, there are the Elven races. And out of those Elven races, you happen to have High Elves, Dark Elves. Winter Elves are also not like your Christmas Elves, no. Those aren't real, by the way, and Santa really does exist. And, yeah, he really is a real thing. I've seen the man. I really have seen him. And no, it wasn't my family member dressed up like him like you think. I know what he really looks like. And for the record, the man smokes a pipe. And I know that because he came into our area several years ago with his wife. And bought smokes. And I know this because I was there with my mom at the time. And we met him. So yes, I actually do know Santa to some degree. Now, let's see. Good. Also, you should know this. I am probably not the elves, right? After winter elves are also called Arctic elves. You then have your Predendal or volcanic elves, and they are fire-based elves. The Volcanocs, they're also called. And after them, you have wood elves, also considered earth elves. And after them, the wind elves. Yes, there's even wind elves, people. They are considered Glacials. Glacials. That is the name I'll tell you them by, because they don't like being spoken of, so I'll give you a name that you didn't know they were called. Now, that are the living, breathing of them. The 12 Dragon Lords happen to be the strongest dragons that are Dragonborns. Dragonborns are normally stronger than dragons also by 30 to 50 times what dragons are normally. And they're much, much more, more or less compact, I'd say. They might be smaller looking, but they're a lot harder to hurt and they're a lot harder to take a hit from. And I should know, because I've been in fights with them. I fought against the 8 Demon Lords, and I fought on the side of it, and at times even against, while it was sparring at them, the 12 Dragon Lords. And these people are powerful. These beings are incredibly powerful. And I, more or less, for the record, have enough power, technically speaking of power when I talk about this, I have the power, if I wanted to do this alone, I could basically annihilate and, mind you, survive, for better or worse, scathed, however, and heal from it in record time, an entire universe, entire verse of the multiverse. And yeah, I did say multiverse because the multiverse happens to really live on. Its existence is real. Just like that, I'm going to say now, there's something you should all know. That just like there's a version of me in this life that you're hearing from, there's a literal every and any kind of version of you, and literally every kind and any kind of birth. And that, more or less, is the truth on that. Just like there's a version of you in that regard, all of you. And I mean, literally everything and anything. That's right. And there are infinite possibilities. So the multiverse is so infinite in its span. You could destroy this thing no matter who you were. Not even the Lord of Gradaville had that power. Nobody's got the strength to do that. And that I will say on that. Now, let's see. We have a little bit of time left. We're almost out of time. So I will leave you with this. The next time we talk, we're going to talk about my magic and a little bit more of the personal truth. So till next time, thank you.